Resume the recording and share the screen. Yes. Are you all able to see the screen? One of you can just unmute and tell us. Can you all hear us? Anu, Venkat ji.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I can hear you.
Okay. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So last week, it's been all about how we can be one with this is a conversation between Kapila Muni and Devahuti. Kapila Muni is the son of Devahuti and Kardama. Devahuti was initially in the shackles of worldly desires, which is also as per design, because there was a purpose that was there. Kapila Muni had to be born and the 9 girls, daughters had to be born. And that's why she was in the shackles of the worldly desires. And after that, when it was time for Kardama to move away, she suddenly realized, oh, I'm going to have separation anxiety. You know, there's going to be a lot of I have a lot of deep attachment. And though she knew right at the beginning, even at the time of marriage, that after a while Kardama will leave and go, it was very difficult to let go of that attachment. And that's when she realizes that she had been with such a great husband, yet because of her worldly desires, she did not learn what she had to learn. And she asks Kardama, and Kardama says, your son will teach you that. He will give you the Brahma Vidya. And Kapila Muni was born, and this whole thing is a conversation between the mother and son, where she asks questions as to what is Purusha and what is Prakriti. And the answers are coming. And she says, I find it very difficult. This whole separation is very difficult. So now Kapila Muni is starting to say what is Purusha? What is that greatest reality? Narayana. And everything in the world is nothing but just temporary, impermanent. And whatever you attach to will end at some point in time. The only reality, the only permanent is Narayana himself, the great God, the great higher self within each one. And he or it, or whatever you call, is the only reality, only permanent in this whole scheme. And so detach from the world and attach to him. So that is Satsanga. And to be able to do that, be with the right Sangha, Mukta Sangha, with people who have been able to move beyond the Sangha of the world, so that we can come out of the Arishad Vargas, Kama, Krodha, Madha, Lobha, Matsarya, which is all formed because of the sense of I and mine, our Ahankara and our Mamakara. So let us free ourselves from our attachment, and we will see that if I put the effort to free myself from the attachments, it will not be easy. My mind needs some attachment. So attach to Narayana, attach to the higher Lord, and automatically, like a fruit falling away down from the tree, the worldly desires will automatically fall down. And it doesn't mean, let us not think wrongly that I'm going to leave my family. Oh, let me not do all of this. Spiritual path means I will end up becoming a monk. No, that is not what they're saying. It is, we have some very, our attachment, when we say attachment, I was recently listening to Saddamurthy's one talk, or somebody shared, I don't know what it, but how she beautifully explained this was, my son, I realized when I was with my, when my daughter, she went abroad to study. And when she went abroad to study for the first time, I realized now I was expecting her call so often, and she was not necessarily calling me that often. And at that time, I realized that I should now, it is time for me to now detach. Now I should not have expectations. So it doesn't mean that I will say, oh, I am detached, so I don't want to do anything for the child. I will still do everything with complete involvement for the child, but I will not expect anything from the child. And she also gives the example of her son, who, when he went to the US, he would call up and say, Amma, I miss your food, I miss this, I miss that. And she was feeling very good. And then he came and settled in Chennai. And after coming to Chennai, she would call him for food, and he was getting all the wonderful food here also anyway. So then he would say, Amma, no, I don't have the time, Ma. Can I come another day? Then she said, okay, now I understood. I should not go and nag him for my time. I should detach. So it doesn't mean I will not do anything for them, but I will not pile on. The idea is I don't pile on them, and I do whatever is needed as much as it is needed for them, where it is a need for them, and where it is not, I will not take hurt. If I don't have expectation, I don't have disappointment, I don't have hurt. So I will not have expectation. It doesn't mean I'm leaving the family and go. That is not what we are talking about as detachment. Detachment is where I completely involve myself. I do everything. It is not the easiest thing, especially with the closest family, to not have that expectation. Somewhere it does come, but that is where we must try, and that detachment, when I attach to the God, the detachment will come, where then there will be an idea of, okay, we are all co-travelers. They have their own path, I have my own path, other people have our own path, and we will go with this. It's not about leaving the family and going away, but it is about disentangling from the expectations, which could lead to disappointments. So no attachment, just serving from our side.
Yeah, very beautiful. So this detachment, the word that we keep hearing here is Vairagya, right? So Vairagya, if you say, like what Aarti rightly said, it is not leaving, it is leaving our raga, my likes. Yeah, I like my son or daughter to be like this. That is again an expectation only, right? So here again and again, the scriptures keep telling us it is about leaving my raga. That is Vairagya. Vairagya has got nothing to do with leaving my duties, that the work, because without work we don't live. Krishna himself says in Bhagavad Gita, even as the little second, there is no kshana when I don't work. So if Krishna is like that, all of us do have our own work, but do it with that Vairagya. Yeah, mine. Finally, it boils down to I, mine. Ahankara, mamakara. Yeah, mamakara is what we are talking here. So the first thing that Kardama says to Devahuti is to attach to Narayana. It is very important that we cultivate bhakti. Right? So bhakti doesn't come overnight. So it has to be cultivated. So for that, the easiest path that they say is Satsanga, to even get the taste for, we all are blessed. We have that taste for Satsanga. Not everybody, I think last week also one of you mentioned, right? Where not so many are there. It is only very few who dedicate time for Satsanga every day. So we are at least blessed in that way. So that Satsanga is an effortless, Satsanga again, what is Satsanga? He's coming later. So first thing is to free ourselves from that raga, my own likes. Yes, attaching to my own like and dislike. Yeah. So for that, Satsanga comes in quite effortlessly. It helps us to break away because we get the higher taste. If I have good taste for mango, a ripe mango, for example, yes, I really relish that, a good Baganapalli. Yeah. And they keep Baganapalli mango here and they keep a Maza here. Which one would I pick? Automatically Baganapalli, right? That's what it is. It is like taking that satsanga gives the taste for the higher automatically. And then the taste for all these becomes lower for us. So automatically the picking of that mango becomes comes in more naturally. So satsanga brings that. It is again training our mind. So satsanga, it leads to, that's what they say. Satsanga slowly cultivates that environment for bhakti, love for God, unconditional love for God or self or Atman, the truth, whatever we want to call. So that is bhakti. So for that, satsanga is what Kardama has, Kapila Muni has detailed to his mother Devahuti here. We saw this, I think, right?
So it says Satsanga leads to Shraddha, and Shraddha leads to Rati, Rati leads to Bhakti. That Shraddha, that faith, somehow, initially we may be having some doubt, how is this relevant? Why should we go to all of these things? But once you're seeing the kind of people and what they are discussing, and slowly you develop, it's like acquired taste, they say, and the more and more you acquire that taste, and then it gets deeper and deeper and leads to bhakti.
Yes. So like us, Devahuti is also listening intently.
Devahuti was listening intently. She now intervened and said, "Tell me how an ignorant woman like me, one who has not studied the Vedas or learned the many truths which the wise have learned, how can I reach you? Which is the easiest path which leads to you?" And here Kapila says, Bhakti. It is Bhakti Yoga which will help you, whether it be the senses which are involved in the world of objects, whether it be the mind which is involved in the daily duties and actions dictated by the Vedas. The only path which will free both of these from the particular fields in which they are engaged is a sincere and spontaneous desire for the attainment of salvation. This desire will be granted by an effortless devotion to Narayana. This devotion will burn away the bondage of karma and the bondage created by the senses, like the fire in the body burns up the food which is eaten. Bhakti will not only grant you oneness with the Lord, but it will also free you from the world of objects. Mukti, release, will follow as a matter of course when you become a pilgrim in the path of bhakti. Sadhus who think only of serving me, who are attached only to me, who perform actions to please only me, who talk nothing but my stories, such people do not desire even to get salvation. They are so happy with the thoughts of me. In their minds, they see my form always, and so, whether they ask for it or not, I grant them mukti. Lost as they are in thoughts of me, they are not attracted by the glories of the heavenly worlds, but still I grant them all that, since they are entitled to them. See, actually, if you even look at the beginning, right, for Kali Yuga, where we are living, it is told that bhakti is the main, only easy path. Any other path can be very difficult. Bhakti is a very, very easy path for everybody. But it has to be cultivated, right? It has to be cultivated. Not everybody is. It is cultivated through our environment. It is through the people, and we choose the environment. If I was not in such an environment, I choose such an environment. And I like the word here, the desire will be granted by an effortless devotion to Narayana. What could an effort, it is making me think, what could an effortless devotion to Narayana mean?
I remember somewhere I read, I don't remember the book. Okay. See, if say it is the last exam. Okay, we all have passed that and past that stage and come here, right? That's a last exam. We all know maybe it's an annual exam and I'm writing the paper. Okay, somewhere in the mind, it is effortlessly there. Okay, that, oh, this is the last exam. Vacation is going to start. That joy, happiness is there inside. Right? That is there. I'm still writing the exam. So like that remembrance of Bhagavan has to be like that, effortless. that is that effortless devotion. I think that's how I'm connecting that. I remember that example. It's like always remembering that, yes, that is the true me. If you call it in the Jnana path, okay, the true me is that. Just like how, yeah, or if it's Bhagwan, say, oh, Bhagwan is always like Prahalada, right? Was there. He knew only Narayana is there. And that effortlessly that is running, it is there. And then everything is happening. So that becomes the effortless.
But the effortless devotion doesn't happen directly.
No, it's only by grace.
And it through our, going in the path of Satsanga, which progresses into Shraddha, which progresses into Rati, which progresses into that Bhakti, that effortless Bhakti eventually. Because of that Shraddha, I keep coming to these Satsangas somewhere. And it is developing. Now the faith has come up. Okay, there is something. There is no doubt. What is faith? Faith is the lack of doubt. So when I come to this Satsanga, that doubt, that confusion, should I not, that goes away and Shraddha comes in. Can everyone mute yourselves, please? Are you trying to talk to us, Ushaji? Because your voice was pretty distorted. We couldn't hear you if you were trying to talk to us. So that effortless devotion to Narayana. Yeah, being in this world is more difficult. It needs a lot of effort for such people. How difficult it once the person has turned the other side, being in this world is very difficult. We have heard of so many stories. Who is that? The potter?
Gora Kumbha.
Gora Kumbha. See, right? He was a potter, and he was constantly thinking about God. And his wife had to go and fill up water and come, and they had a baby. She says, please watch the baby for some time. And he says, yes. But once he starts kneading that clay with his legs, he's just kneading the clay with his legs, and he's just telling the name of Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. I don't know, was it Vithala? Yeah, I don't know, whoever. And he's just saying that, and in the mind, while that little child comes crawling into that clay. And when and then he starts even trampling. He doesn't even know. He's just so lost in the Lord. He doesn't know what's happening in the world. He's trampling the baby, and the baby dies. And the mother comes and she says, what are you doing? How could you do this? What are you? You are praying so much, and you killed your own child. And he also cries, and he says, is this the reward for my bhakti? What is this? So his bhakti was more, but then God comes and revives the baby. Okay, that's the story. But his bhakti was effortless for him. That was so effortless, right? Being in the world was much more effort for him. So to reach that stage, it's persistence, consistency. We keep moving in this path again without expectation. We just involve, we just do. And naturally, that nididhyasana will start happening. It changes over time. My only effort is to make sure I'm there.
In fact, Ramana also says, see, this is actually an effortless state. When my ego is functioning, there is so much effort. That is when I become tired. See, I don't know if you experience that the Satsanga, say go to Nama Sankirtana, say you're there the entire night. Or maybe, I don't know, if you're standing in a queue to worship Bhagwan, to get his darshan, say in Tirupati or wherever, Pandharpur, so many hours together. But you have been chanting and effortlessly with very less ego. If we have been there, we will not experience that tiredness also. Okay, but with full of doership, when I have done something, I experience tiredness at the end of the day. So even Mother Nature is giving us that indication, saying, okay, whenever I feel tired, that's an indication, oh yeah, maybe, a lot of doership in my mind. But when this without doership, so that's our natural state as well, here and now. Bhagavan says, right, there's nothing to reach, right here, right now. That is my natural state, that effortless bhakti. Gopikas, they say, they're meditating when Uddhava comes and asks, Gopika say, yeah, I meditate. What I meditate? He said, I am not able to forget Krishna. To forget Krishna, I have to, meditate. That was the level, but that will be granted for us. I mean, I don't know, grace, like what Aarti said. I think all that we can do at the effort stage is to, with Shraddha, continue our sadhana. Whatever that needs, without expectations again.
Yeah.
Here also it is very important. Sometimes we feel, we are to get someone is getting something and I am not getting. All these things come in our mind, even in spiritual path. So that also, without any expectations, Shraddha is the first thing to cultivate bhakti.
So, and Harini's question, won't faith come when we see results? Sometimes newcomers to bhakti do. I'm sure you are getting your results. It's just that I am not seeing it. What I am seeing, when I'm saying I'm not getting it, it could mean I'm looking in the wrong place also. Sometimes, because I am fixated on a certain kind of result. But the result is probably, in fact, coming. They say, again, I'm looking for the result outside. Am I looking for the result within or outside? There's the story, of that needle. Somebody lost the needle and they were all looking outside. Everybody was searching. And then one wise man comes there. And they're all saying, what happened? Whatever. I said, no, I lost a needle. We are all looking for it. And the wise man also starts looking along with them. And then he can't find it. Then he says, where did you lose the needle? And the lady says, I lost it inside the house. He says, why are you looking outside then? No, because this is where there is light. So I can look here. I am not able to look inside. It's night. So many times we are looking for it outside. We are looking for the results outside. He is definitely giving some result within. Am I seeing that result, that growth? Maybe we have a few more kilometers to walk before that drops outside.
Yeah.
Before that situation. When I have done with that learning, inside, that situation outside will solve itself on its own.
Yeah. See, this entire thing, we can look at it as a beautiful, as an evolution, actually. Okay. So initially, when I keep asking, he may give. Okay. So I may just looking at it as an evolution. Okay. Right now, starting with, say, first step. I don't even know who God is. They say, okay, ask, pray. So when maybe, I just pray, I want more marks, something, and I get it. Okay. Then that faith comes. What is the faith? My own definition of God, who is sitting and who is there whenever I pray. My prayers will be answered in the way I want. Okay. So my wish fulfilling person, someone. Okay. My definition of God is like that. And I am building faith on that definition of God, not on God. Okay. So slowly what happens is, once that handle is there, okay, Bhagwan, he is the, he knows. He says, okay, he's now slowly building faith. Now you're asking these things. I'm choosing not to give you. Okay. Say his answer is no. Okay. And he tests. Do I still have faith in him? Yeah. Am I able to take his no as an answer to my prayer? Okay. Because he can answer however he wants. So he is giving a no as an answer. Am I taking it? I may take it. I may not take it. Like what you have said, say, I don't take it. I say, oh, that God doesn't exist. If I go to that, he gives me learnings again and again and again and again in life. Okay. He pushes me to a breaking point where again I turn. Okay. This is how he teaches us. He brings us back because we are that, isn't it? We want to get back to that. So he pushes us to that. So as until I learn, like what Aarti said, until I learn, that comes to me again and again and again. Okay, there is something there. I am missing it. So Bhagavan says, see, this is what. So until that keeps coming to me. He pushes to that. When I again turn and look, yes, I pray with that surrender attitude now. Do something, not even surrender. It is like helplessness. I'm showing my helplessness. I say, do something. I don't know. Please, I don't know what to do. Get me out of it. Still, I want some result. But now I'm saying do something. At that time, he will make us see what he's giving us. Okay. The first one is where I am not giving him that freedom to make me see that also. Okay. I have decided I want to see only that result. Okay. So because that result is not coming to me, the rest are closed. Now, to that, when I am ready to give that to that Bhagavan and say, oh, you please give me something, just help me out. Then he makes us see how he's answering the prayer. Then what happens is love for Bhagavan comes. That is where the love starts developing. Otherwise, till that time, it is like, we are using him for something. Okay. We are just using him for something. I pray, you give. I pray, you give. Then the love for him starts. So then when the love for him starts, I start respecting that, okay, more than me, he knows. He knows what is good for me. Yeah. Then leave it to him. Automatically the surrender comes. I don't have to do anything. Then the moment the surrender comes, the prayer becomes more like a time spent with him rather than asking anything to him. That is where now the connection starts building. The moment the connection starts building, now I am spending time with someone more and more and more. Say, maybe I'm doing the japa. Now, who is this person? Who is he? Is he a person? Is he sitting somewhere? Who is he? Where is he? What is he? Want to know more. Then he starts revealing slowly his, then that all these, whatever we saw, this Vairagya and all, starts falling in place. Okay, that shift. So this is an evolution. So once the connection is built and I start knowing more and more and more and more about this Adisaya Shakti, we say, right? Then we start seeing that Shakti functioning everywhere so beautiful. That witness mode, maybe. Then once we start seeing that beautiful Shakti working, that the respect is just somewhere, it is beyond it. We are just wonderstruck. That's it. And then like what they say, Satsanga comes and all these things. And then at one point in time, we say, oh, you are just there. I as long as I am, with you, that's all is needed. So that devotion, it burns all other bondages. So that is a kind of evolution. So then mukti, he grants that the one is least bothered, the one with that level of bhakti is least bothered about mukti because he's already liberated. So it's a nice evolution. That's why they say, I know going through, we all are stuck somewhere. That's what we need to know, I think. We all are somewhere with our own things. So he is taking us through. He is holding us and taking us stage by stage. We are somewhere in some stage, in some situations. So with Shraddha, we keep walking with him, I think.
See, the best example that comes to my mind when we think of this, right? Shraddha with Shraddha. I see parents of special needs children. Okay. It's a lifelong thing. There's no possible for expectations. Okay. Whatever slight improvement is there, they are completely. And when you talk to them, there is just so much wisdom. There's so much to learn from them because they have completely surrendered, where that expectation is not there. They just know they have to serve. It is only, they know that that is the only option, that this child is there with them only so that I can serve. Some days are difficult, some days are not difficult, but they know they have to come back to normalcy. They have to come back and be this thing so that they can serve this child again. Because there is no other way. You cannot put any kind of expectation too much on them. Okay, sometimes there could be, the mind can get a little wavered, maybe, but then you have to come back again quickly, right? So there is a lot of wisdom when you hear. So again, in the Shraddha, what am I asking? Am I asking for the situation outside to get sorted out? Or am I asking God or praying to God for me to have the courage to handle this situation that He has given me. There is this beautiful song. इतनी शक्ति हमें देना दाता, मन का विश्वास कमजोर होना, हम चले नेक रास्ते पे हमसे भूल कर भी कोई भूल होना, इतनी शक्ति हमें देना दाता, मन का विश्वास कमजोर होना. I am walking on this path. May I not make any mistake in this path. May I walk, or मन का विश्वास कमजोर न होना. No matter what hurdle I face, may my Shraddha not reduce. And may I keep moving in the direction, and may I not make many mistakes in this direction. May I keep progressing in this direction. May you lead me to do the right thing. May you help me be detached from my entanglement with this situation. Am I asking that, or am I asking for the worldly problem to get sorted? That makes a huge difference in whatever result I am asking. When I'm saying, are we looking inwards? Has my entanglement reduced? Has my detachment reduced? Has my conflict within reduced? That is my measure of progress. That in Shraddha.
Yes, I think. No. Here. Bhakti. It's here, right? Bhakti, says Kapila. Let's listen to Kapila. It is Bhakti Yoga which will help you. Whether it be the senses which are, I think we read this, which are involved in the world of objects.
Yeah, we read this.
Yeah. Whether it be the mind which is involved in daily duties. We have done this. We read about this Bhakti. Yes. Bhakti will not only grant you oneness with the Lord, but it will also free you from the world of objects. Mukti, release, will follow as a matter of course when you become a pilgrim in the path of Bhakti. Mukti, they say, is the slave of Bhakti. I think you remember we saw the story of Bhakti Mata with Jnana and Vairagya as her children in that when we started BhAgavatam, right? So in Bhagavata Mahatmya it is there. And it is in the same thing, it is said that Mukti is Bhakti's slave. So which means it just comes. Yeah? Sadhu who think only of serving me, Kapila is talking about it, who are attached only to me, who perform actions only to please me, who talk nothing but my stories. Such people do not desire even to get salvation. They are so happy with the thoughts of me. In their mind's eye, they see my form always. And so, whether they ask for it or not, I grant them mukti. Lost as they are in thoughts of me, they are not attracted by the glories of the heavenly worlds. But still, I grant them all since they are entitled to them. Yeah, this is the sadhus.
And mukti is liberation at small levels, which will lead to the higher mukti of birth and death cycle. Right? Mukti, small liberations of my, that Vairagya, through Vairagya, mukti, liberation of my attachments to my beliefs, attachments to my strong opinions, of attachments to over-entanglement in my own principles, and my own people, the me and mine, all these become, why when I say my principle, I, like that, no? The principles are good, very good in life, but it could be belief, it could be opinions, whatever it is there, or even a desire. It is there to give us a certain direction and move in that direction. But the moment those, we have to be able to recognize when those itself start entangling us and shackling us, then it's time to drop. Maybe I am overtly holding certain things. So mukti is liberation from each one of these. And those become the root cause for many of my thoughts, my emotions, my this thing. So if I start relooking, facing and saying, is this principle working for me? Is this belief working for me? Is this the right thing at this for this situation? Should I consider other options? Whatever. So slowly what you're doing, you're detaching. You're allowing, you're telling yourself, this is not the only way that I should follow. Right? So then when that I do that, that mukti starts happening. Because to move from that strong attachment that I have to that principle, that belief, or whatever I have, I need faith. I need some shraddha, because it's a change, unknown area again. There is something, right? So then Narayana, hold on to him, surrender to him and say, I'll take this path. It's different from what I know, but I'm going to try.
Yes. My bhaktas will never be destroyed. The wheel of time, which is my formidable weapon, is powerless as far as they are concerned, since they become one with me. I am everything to a bhakta. I am dear to him as a son. He is a confidant like a friend. I am his instructor, his well-wisher, his beloved. So this one is very beautiful. See, this is the Pancha Mahabhava, we say, right? The Vatsalya Bhava, Sakhya Bhava. These, see, in Bhakti, it is very beautiful because, see, in any relationship, for example, say Aarti, as a friend, I may have a Sakhya Bhava with her. With my daughter, I may have a Vatsalya Bhava, a motherly. Okay, I may not have a Sakhya Bhava with my daughter. I will not, it is very difficult to put Vatsalya with Aarti, right? With my husband, I may have a Madhura Bhava. Okay, Vatsalya Bhava, I don't know. Right? So with these worldly relationships, the Bhava is very restricted to one. Yeah. But with Bhagwan, that is what they say, I am everything to a Bhakta. So Bhakta, for some time we love to listen to Krishna Leela when he is like that Makkan Chor and that, you know, that Vatsalya just flows like Kunti Devi, for example, right? We love to listen and we feel, oh wow, it's such a lovely child. And when we see small children, we think, oh, you know, we remember Krishna Leela and all that. Sometimes when we see, you know, the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, say, oh my God, it becomes like a father figure. Right? He's so that Shraddha comes in. That is like some other Vatsalya Bhava. When I am the daughter and he is the father. Madhura Bhava, like a Gopika or somebody, you know. So those things are to one Bhagavan, the Bhava, all the Bhavas can flow at one time. That is the beauty. That is what they call Radha also as, where all the Bhavas are in that equilibrium state. That is bhakti, you know. So Sakhya Bhava, for Sudama, he was a friend, right? Sometimes he's a friend to me also, isn't it? When we talk to him, when we fight with him, whatever. Sometimes he can be a guru, right? Again, now that respectable position comes in. So he says, for Bhagavan says, I'm everything to a bhakta. So everything is, it just flows to Bhagavan. Whatever bhava is there, yes, it is directed to Bhagavan. That is the way the all our rasas, all our things are completely, what is that camphor thing called? Sublimed, you know, and it flows towards him, and then bhakti develops. Very beautifully he says here, that's I am everything to a bhakta. I am dear to him as a son. I am his confidant, like a friend, his instructor, so guru, well-wisher, beloved, everything, right? My bhaktas, anybody wants to say something? Someone is unmuted.
Actually, I wanted to say, if anybody wants to share something today, we have fewer people. So instead of moving ahead a lot, others have something to share based on this, please feel free to do that. Anywhere, anytime, please feel free. You can also share. There are some questions shared. If you have any connections which you think, maybe it's just our perspective, but I'm sure all of us have our own life experiences and will be, and you are here for the Satsanga. Definitely there are some, might be very good sharings which we can also learn from. So please feel free if you want to answer any of those questions or want to share something regarding whatever we are learning.
So Kapila is saying, I'm everything to a bhakta. I am dear to him as a son, his confidant like a friend, his instructor, his well-wisher, his beloved. My bhaktas have no fear of anything, since everything in this universe is under my sway. It is in fear of me that the wind blows. Fear of me makes the sun shine. Parjanya rains from the heavens because he stands in fear of me. The fire burns and Yama keeps a watchful eye on everything, all because I have appointed them to do so. But yogis who have conquered the world of the senses are afraid of nothing and they reach me without any doubt. Let's talk about fear. Any thoughts anyone wants to share? You're welcome to.
Do we focus on the objects or do we focus on the space? I think we spoke about this in the last class.
Yeah.
As a bhakta, he is like that space, right, Narayana, in which, even if you have to look at our consciousness here, everything that is happening in this world is happening because the I-ness is there within me, correct? Which is his consciousness shining through me. Okay. And that consciousness is a bit like a light, it is showing all the objects. But instead of realizing that everything is that I am, all these objects are also part of that greater reality. And that is also being shown because of the consciousness. Instead of turning and looking at that consciousness, I get completely caught with that little object and drowned in that object. That object becomes my world. And when I'm talking about that object, what is that object? It could be either an outside object or an object in terms of my thought, my feelings, this thing. And my world becomes constricted. If I expand my world, things, it's just, then all these objects, see, now you should do this exercise. Okay, just try to look in your room. There are some specific objects, look at each of the objects. That then in your consciousness, only that object is seen. Okay, I don't know what is in your room. Is there a chair? Is there a table? Is there a bed? Is there a cupboard? Is there a book? Whatever. Focus on those objects. Now your focus is on those objects. Now just zoom out and just observe the space. With no focus on any of the objects, observe the space. Then the objects are there in the space, but I am not paying particular attention to any of these objects. They don't go anywhere. But it's just that my attention is more on the space rather than on the objects in the space. So that object which had become that world in my vision when I was completely focused on that is just something in the space. So now because space has become this is a very easy way to relate to it. When we see consciousness, maybe when we see, Narayana, it is, what did Prahalada say? Narayana is everywhere. Is he in the pillar? He's in you, he's in me, he's in everything. Hiranyakashipu was asking that question and Prahalada said, like that, if we just see the space is everywhere. Everything has space. But I don't see the space. No, it's just a shift of perspective. I don't see the space. I see only the objects. So can I shift that perspective to perceive only the space in everything so that those objects start blurring? Not very easy, but quite doable. We should start practicing in the space outside, and then we can start practicing it in the space in our mind also. All the thoughts, emotions that come up. So then, and that space that within me is also illumined only because of that consciousness which we have received as a reflection from, Narayana's consciousness. It's his light that is shining through me. And with that humility, I pay focus to that space. So when we say, one is the surrender, there are Pada Sevanam, that we saw the Navavida Bhakti, right? In reality, this is just a part of that space. In that white paper, black dot, why do I see that black dot all the time? The white space is so big. Why does my mind point out? That is how we are made something. We have to retrain ourselves to look at the bigger white space. So my bhaktas have no fear of anything, since everything in this universe is under my sway. Oh, I've been to Mantralaya with my family. Ashwini ji is sharing. There is a museum which depicts exactly what you are teaching us. Narayana has spread across the universe, and the worldly connections of the people are made intrinsically beautiful. When you are explaining, I was able to connect through it. You want to say what was there in the museum, Ashwini ji? Do you want to explain what you saw there?
Good evening, ma'am. It is unexplainable because we need to experience that, because there are different floors where it has been beautifully explained. It is not even we need at least one whole day to see that museum.
Oh,
so
in Mantralaya.
In Mantralaya, is it?
Yes, ma'am. They have shown there, they have shown the path to reach heaven. So what are the different levels of levels we need to reach for that particular area? So everything is beautifully done there. That is what I was able to connect with it when you were talking about it.
Oh, so it's in Mantralaya itself, is it?
Yeah.
Near the
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Near the Raghavendra temple.
Just opposite to it. Just opposite.
You go so often. Okay, thank you for letting us know about
this. Next time maybe we must.
Sure,
if there is a name, please do share that in the group later.
It's Vaikuntha Museum.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I never knew.
Yeah,
right.
Sure. Thanks for showing us this light.
Yes, fantastic. We must. Yes. When Aarti was talking about this, fading the objects, when we are so caught up with object in the room. So when she was taking us through the experiment, I was just seeing all these things. Okay, just expanding that same example. Say there is a cot here, fully space. Okay, when I'm so caught with this, when I walk and come, it is possible that I hit my feet in the cot. Okay, what happens in life when something like that happens? I get entangled in that pain so much. Yes, I forget to lift my head up and see. Okay, I mean, just extrapolating that example. So this is a simple example where I hit and there is pain. Okay, maybe it is bleeding, maybe the nail has come out, whatever. Let us think it is a very deep pain. Okay, but immediately if I see the space, then I see that space also is offering me a chair to sit. The space is also offering me a floor to sit down and relax there. Yes, and attend to that pain, tend to whatever is needed. But in life, what I get caught so much with the pain that I forget to see what the space is offering me. Many times, I think that's what they say, right? We just keep knocking at the closed door. We forget to see the other door which is open and which is there, calling us. So the only thing how we can start looking at other possibilities is shift our focus from the object. That object, it's not the worldly objects that we are talking, the objects in our mind, all the thought vibrations, all the likes, dislikes, beliefs, whatever we have. So all those shift that to Bhagavan. That all expansive Akhanda Tattva. When we are able to shift to that blue sky which is there, then automatically he shows us another possibility. He says, oh, you can manage your pain like this. It comes. So one beautiful story I'm remembering here. with the fear. See, that's why again, see, very beautifully he says, right? Fear, when we are so identified with, when we are just stuck somewhere, the fear of losing that is there. So there is so much fear. We have seen the story, it's Swami Vivekananda's story, where his favorite story. I think we've seen this in Bhagavatam also, but it's nice to again think about it because it's very, very relevant here. In the sea, in the deep mid sea, a small little wave is born. Yes, it rises, it comes up, and it starts, coming up and down and up and down, and it is just nicely flowing on the surface of the sea. And it is, it gets lot of friends. There are a lot of other waves also. So with all the froth and all whatever, it is enjoying being a wave. Yes, it has become big now and big up and up. And then there are many other waves as it is enjoying, and it is traveling from the mid of the ocean, and slowly it is coming. As the ocean takes it, the wave is just following, it's just steered by the ocean current. And then as it goes, it sees at far, all these while it was just seeing something blue, and all its friends, and it was enjoying its wavy things. Then suddenly it sees something brown. And then the moment it sees something brown, it asks its friend, what is that something brown? The other wave. The other wave says, oh, don't you know that? That is the sand. The moment we go there, we all die. We hit that and we die. So this is gone into the wave. Now the wave is thinking itself as that little wave. Yes, that what do you say? Limited identity, looking at objects. It is looking at as that, and then says, oh my God, so this will go away the moment I go and hit that brown thing. Yes. So now the fear has come in. Oh my God, what will happen? Is that all? The happiness is gone. The joy is gone. And the wave is not able to see anything else. The wave is not even able to do its wavy things. Then there is another huge wave which comes and says, hey, what happened? And then this wave says, oh, so the moment I go hit, I'm going to go, that's all, nothing else. And I'm very scared now. Then this wave says, no, don't think you think you're the wave. Find out who you are. Who are you actually? Yes, and then this big wave says, you are actually not the wave. You're actually the water. Wave is just that form that you have right now. Actually, you are that water as a tattva. Then this wave realizes it and then says, oh, am I that water? Oh, I'm not this wave anymore. Okay, that kind of releases that little mukti, that kind of releases this wave from that bond, that it is not a wave, it is that water. So the moment it knew it was water, yes, first that inner discovery has happened. It now looks around, and whatever it sees, everything it sees is only water. That is that Prahlada vision, right? So the first is knowing who I am. And the moment that discovery happens, everything looks the same. Everything looks Bhagwan. Ishavasya Nidam Sat. So the wave, everything looks water. So where is the fear, right? Everything is water. And then the wave realizes, oh, okay. Then even that's when the wave realizes, okay, I am this small little water, and I am the water. Even when I get evaporated and go, when the sun takes me, when I get evaporated, I'm still the water. I may be a vapor there, but again, when I come back as rain, I'm still the water. I may go to the soil as a moisture, I'm still water. I may be in the air as a moisture, I'm still water. I may come back to the river or the sea, and I'm still water. So I'm still water, and whatever I see is water. So that expansive vision, the moment the true realization is there, there is no fear. So this is a beautiful thing that comes. So for the yogi who has conquered the world of senses, so it is our senses which limits our perception. Yes, I think I am this so strongly because that is what my eyes are seeing. That is what my ears are hearing. That is what I am talking. That is why, I think what my senses give is the truth. is where we need to shift. It is not, the senses are there, they are useful for this body to survive. Over. They are not giving me the truth. So what is giving me the truth? That, is the spiritual part.
The senses are here. You can use them in two ways. You can either get caught, use these senses to get caught with the objects, or use these senses to transcend. What is it that I see at all times? What is it that I hear at all times? What is it that I think at all times? What is it that I'm telling? Am I telling how things are good in my life? Or am I talking about how things are not good in my life? Am I seeing that object which is good in my life? Am I seeing that object which is not good in my life? At one hearing and everything. And then slowly, what is it that I'm seeing? And then if I think something is good and then something is not good, that also becomes, you will eventually see that both are impermanent. So then the only thing for me is to see Hari's Leelas in everything in the world. Whatever I am hearing, Hari's Leelas, even if it, maybe something, to me it sounds like song only, even if it is abuse. Whatever comes from my mouth is in praise and saying, my life is good. He has blessed me. My life is good. In my mind also, I am feeling grateful for everything that I have. What objects I see, my senses engage with, that becomes my world. You have a choice. Which are you going to focus on more? That everything is God's gift in my life. When I live my life, knowing that this life itself is a gift given by Him, the life will become a gift for me. No matter, this is not a because every situation is correct, only then I can feel gifted. No. Whatever is the situation, in spite of whatever is the situation, my life is the best. And whatever He has given in my life is because those kleshas within me, those entanglements, they are attracting all of those, because my focus is so much on those entanglements. And that is becoming my world. If I just shift my perspective and become grateful and become accepting of everything and become completely and expanded, see only good things. Whatever is happening, see only good things. I see that white space at all point in time. I hear the wonderful things, all that, whatever is happening around me, it's how I perceive. Right? And then life becomes like that. As I think, so my world. If I think this life is a gift by Him, so that's what. Bhushana ke bhushana, ati bhushana, Seshadrivasashi, Varavenkatesha, Bhushana ke bhushana, ati bhushana, Naligege bhushana, Narayana Nama. Or the tongue. What is that bejewels the tongue? It's His Nama. Kalige bhushana hariyatrayut. See, it is not like going to the temple or telling His name. Whatever I'm uttering, I just remember that the words which are coming are because He is powering it. So then how should my words be? They should be sweet. And how do, it's not like this whole life itself is a pilgrimage. So I walk this life like a pilgrimage. Walk on this land, this moment. It's not about going to some temple, Hariyatra. It's just undertaking this very moment, this very walk that I am walking as a walk, as a pilgrimage, Hariyatrayo alaya ke bhushana tulasi vrindavana alaya ke bhushana. I think I mixed up the thing. Oh, wait. Naligege bhushana Narayana Nama Kalige Bhushana Hariyatrayo. Correct. Alaya ke Bhushana Tulasi Vrindavana Karna ke Bhushana Vishnu Kathayo Vishal Karna ke Bhushana Vishnu Kathayo Bhushana ke Bhushana Ati Bhushana Ranganna noduvadu Kangalige Bhushana Ranganna noduvadu Kangalige Bhushana Mangalatmana Paniva Sirabhushana Shringara Tulasi Mani Koralige Bhushana Ranga Vitalana Nama Ati Bhushana Bhushana ke Bhushana Ati Bhushana. See the love. What is the essence of Narayana? It is love and service. The sun is shining. It is burning itself. Is it expecting anything in return? It is just shining, just doing its duty. What is the water doing? Just quenching our thirst. Are we doing anything back? Everything is serving and doing its job because of following the laws, the eternal laws of the universe, of the creation, for which he is the puppeteer, you can say, the one who is moving everything in this universe. Stop looking at this, at yourself from so close. Start looking at ourselves from far away with a bigger vision as us part of a much bigger reality. When the I and me is very tiny, I feel more shackled. It's like that cow which has surrounded itself in that pole and doesn't know how to move. Just disentangle and move a little far away. You'll have a better view, more pasture. Life will seem, we will start understanding his gifts in our life. It's not blindly just putting it down, but to see his grace in everything. With understanding, with knowledge. The one who lose Shraddha are the ones where the surrender is not, the surrender also has an expectation. The surrender may not be unconditional. When I have that unconditional love in him and acceptance of everything that he has given me in my life, my love for him will grow and my world will also grow with love for me.
Very beautiful. So, anything else anybody wants to share or
One chart.
trees are growing? Yes.
Yeah.
In nature, everything. Everything is there without expectations. They follow the dharma of, Narayana. Naturally, we have this little, buddhi, which is given for us to turn the world of senses and realize him. But we have trained our mind to look outward over many janmas. So that's why we have these, satsangas, Bhagavatam. Through Bhagavatam, Bhagwan is telling us, get more and more of the satsanga. The more and more of satsanga changes our vision from the narrow vision of looking at only the objects to the vision of being connected to that Akhanda Ananta, Narayana. That's why they say Akhanda Ananta and Govinda. See, Govinda is such a wonderful nama. It is one of the meaning here because, Yogi who has conquered the world of senses. So Govinda nama helps us conquer the world of senses. It is like that's why Bhagavatam keeps saying again and again, put all our senses, see like this Bhushana, see Bhagwan's forms, hear his nama, listen to his leelas and talk only his nama and talk only about him. So the more and more and more we do it, then he changes our vision in such a way that whatever happens in life, we start seeing that as his act. Yes, the more and more we connect, that's why they say, we have to do the nama japa and we need to just be connected with that form of Bhagwan, whatever. Then the more and more we are there, then the vision changes. So the vision changes from seeing an object to seeing Narayana in everything, seeing that Sutrada, seeing the entire life as his Leela. And that is surrender. Yeah. So with this, let us all
Let's remember Kunti Mata. Whatever happened in her world, her bhakti only grew because she saw his Leela and his play and his protection at all point in time. Instead of looking at the suffering that she may have been going through, if you look at it, she was in the forest, she was going, the children were getting, people were trying to kill her, everything. But through all, they were ready to kill her children, and then the children had been wronged, the 13 years in the forest, she was separated from them, so much she had to go through. But in all that, instead of she seeing the suffering, she saw how they were protected by the Lord at all point in time. That is where our sense, how is it going? Am I seeing the Lord's play and his protection and his grace and feeling grateful for it? Or am I seeing it as a suffering? It's a perspective. It's nothing more than that. Let's remember Kunti as we close.
Yes. So let's connect to Bhagwan, pray for his grace so that the perspective shifts. Perspective shifting is not in my hand. In my hand, remembering Bhagwan, remembering his love, remembering his nama. I have this little mind which is within this name and form. So let me completely channelize remembering his name, seeing his form, hearing his Leela, hearing his nama, and completely channelize all my senses to Bhagwan and pray for his grace so that my vision shifts, so that I see everything as Bhagwan's play. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Namo Narayana. Om 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 Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Thank you.
Thank you, Hari Om.
Hari Om.